Cowboys Hour.
Supported by Albertsons.
And brought to you by
Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. It's Miller time. Albertsons in Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Luke Casey, the official bootmaker of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com. Make your crypto play today. Buffalo Wild Wings. And by Omni. Omni Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's Victory Monday.
And it's Victory Monday! It's Victory Monday! How are you? Look at what a crowd. Is this because it's Christmas and the Star District is so beautiful and decorated? Or is it because it's Victory Monday? Victory Monday, there we go. And not just any Victory Monday, because the hated Philadelphia Eagles are now having defeat Monday night. And look at our special guest, the Cowboys All-Star center, Tyler Biadasz, is here with us tonight. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I know you had nothing else you would rather have been doing on a Monday evening.
No, man. I'm grateful to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
We are grateful to have you here. So, have you ever been since birth in a third trimester?
Yes, actually. No.
You have you?
No.
I mean, it's such an interesting way for Mike McCarthy to have divided.
Yeah.
He didn't say I've divided into thirds. He said trimester. Okay.
He did spin that one. I was
He
like,
kind of
right.
did. But so now you've launched this last part.
Mm-hmm.
And so how big a way to launch it was last night? Still one game in the regular season.
Yeah, I think it's huge, especially, coming off of the 3-game stretch that we had before. And, that's a big stretch. I mean, obviously, like, getting your bodies back, too, and, refocusing. And we ended that second trimester out great. So, I mean, but, yeah, going to the third one, and especially division opponent, there's a lot on the line, obviously, and stuff like that. But, like, to come out like we did and have that tenacity and play complimentary football is huge.
It was a little feisty out there last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it always is.
Well, it's not always. It's not always, and it goes in degrees.
Well,
and your group, especially, it seems to me there's 2 or 3 of you who seem to be enjoying making sure that the team has a little bit of an edge. Am I off base on that?
No, I mean, I think our team has that that attitude that we always talk about in the O-line room too, because I mean, it's in the trenches, and it's that owning the line of scrimmage. And obviously when you play a team twice, there are rivalry matches, and there are there's a lot of matchups that you have you want to succeed in here or there, or however that might shake out, and you always have that more of an edge going into that game because you know more about them than you did before. So but yeah, there's always a little bit of shit talking here and there.
I mean, I just love the way your cheeks get red and your smile kind of when you talk about that. Now, so what happens then when you're getting ready to play a good team that you don't know very well?
And that's, I think, you go off you have unscouted looks sometimes, and but then you go based off your fundamentals in your system that you have in place, and that goes with kind of every defense they give you, and you have your checks and you have your run solutions, you have your hots and dots, that McCarthy says and stuff like that. But like it's the pure execution based on like the rules that you have in the offense. Talking offense specifically, but knowing that you can trust your rules and trusting the running backs and landmarks, or knowing like when we're gonna hit this down the seam, or like the play clock and how fast the play's going, or we're just helping out the reads of the QB and all that stuff. So. But yeah, unscouted looks can that's McCarthy talks about it a lot, like the first 4 games of the year, like the somewhat of the hardest ones, because it's like you don't really know what they're going to give you, because you're playing into division opponents the first times and all that. So but yeah, no, it could be challenging for sure, but obviously you just keep on adapting to the game and what it brings you. So
you guys have been throwing unscouted looks a lot this season. How do you feel like over time you guys have developed and grown in that in-game adjustment?
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of different looks over the past, I think, 2 years,
Yeah.
and a lot of the defenses are going down, whether it's a 5-down base or nickel or dime and all that stuff. And I think our defense runs a good bit of all of it, and we have that in camp. And I think that's a huge thing for us and how we kind of like set our system of like our declarations and all that stuff. So I think our defense does a great job of like prepping us in general, but also like our show team that week, they do a great job of like making sure we get those looks that are unscouted or having different things that they could do. So I think just bringing up those and bringing up different variables like that, that's a huge thing for us. And we've adapted along this whole season too, and that's the whole thing is just to keep peaking at the right time. And December football is the best kind of football. So but that's where like true championship teams start.
Well, Dan Quinn was talking today about coming into this. I'm sorry, I'm just going to call it the final third. In this final third of the season, that he is trying to help identify on a weekly basis what the defense as a whole needs to do this week to get better, and what each guy has to do to continue to improve. Stephon Gilmore was here with us just a few weeks ago, and I was struck by the fact that he said the good teams that he's been on this is the time of the year when they really start to get it in gear. And you've already played 2/3 of the season by now. So what things, individually and as a group of 5 of you, what things do you think you could put your finger on and say we can get better at that?
Yeah, I think it's more so a consistency, and I think don't beat yourself, whether it's penalties or just doing your job, like plain and simple about like where you're going, like making sure we see the deck and like see where we're going and basing it what your job is, but just honestly just how all 11 on the same page and eliminating pre-snap penalties. And that's the biggest thing is about don't be don't have that in the way of like you're competing against them, don't compete back at yourself.
There was a lot of concerns from other people about how good this offensive line could be, and that was just because of the lack of continuity. You guys had battled injuries, but now that you guys have gotten that continuity together, about 5-6 games of playing together, how much do you feel like this is y'all's best, or if not, how much better do you feel like this offensive line can be?
Yeah, I think every week like we've been growing, and I think this is a different lineup, obviously, like than last year and stuff. But like every single week, gotten better and better and better, and like full 100%. We had this last year. Like Tyler moved inside, and like we kept working on like just building that chemistry, but know that the continuity, even with like the offense too, and like the consistency that we're having, and whether it's in the run game, pass game, play action, or whatever, like some games are different than others, and like yesterday was more run than maybe pass, or more balanced, or some games it's more pass. But like that's the beauty of our offense, is that we take what they give us, and we hit, we just keep hitting it brick by brick by brick, down the field. And the big thing is like the consistency about getting first downs and like being efficient on first and second down to make it manageable, and third down, and like our percentages in third down are going really up and really high. So that's a big thing.
That consistency involves communication. It's been several weeks now where you have been able to communicate with the same 2 people on either side of you. How much is that a contributing factor to the efficiency of what your group is doing?
I mean, I think it's huge. I think with me and Dak being on the same page, and that's always at a premium, and especially like the O-line specifically, whether it's pass pro, but also like having the running back too. I think you're always having that at a premium, and you're always making sure everyone's on the same page no matter what, before that ball snapped. And you just want to put yourself in the best position possible, like set yourself up for success, and don't you're always staying on top of the little things. And I think that's the biggest part. We even came out of meetings today, and I had a chance to speak with just making sure we're on the small details, because those add up over time, and just to keep your foot on the gas.
You You kind of touched on it. A lot of guys are willing to do the dirty work. You have the running backs that are involved in pass pro, tight ends, even Michael Gallup every now and then. How would you assess the selflessness within this team, and do you feel like that's what makes this offense so special?
Yeah, it's huge. I think, the chemistry that we have as individuals and our personalities and as a group, I think, we're really, gelling at the right time. And I think it's, goes back to even like camp and like how hard we grinded then to be, set us up to where we are now. And I think, all 11, like I said before, and like we're all trying to, better ourselves, but like the unselfish plays, whether it's like, we watched one in the team meeting and about the Seattle game, and like Michael Gallup had like a little drag route, and then CD was behind him, but like Michael Gallup took that safety, pulled him in, and then he, dotted CD for a touchdown over the top, and like those are huge plays that some people might not notice, but in the meeting, like we're clapping up for MG, because that was a huge play in the game, and but the unselfishness is at a premium too. I think that's been a huge thing, and we have the tight ends, running backs, they're stepping up. TP's play, yesterday against in 2 minute when Brandon Cooks had that big deep ball, like TP stepped up and got that piece of that linebacker, and he's doing a lot of dirty work with the linebacker blitzes and stuff like that. So like we got a lot of guys that are very, very unselfish, but putting themselves on the line, and like we really appreciate that.
You mentioned balance, and I made the point earlier in the game yesterday, early in the game, that balance used to mean 50-50, and doesn't mean that anymore. It now means where, the number of running plays can see the number of passing plays. And that's not at all what you did. You approached it completely differently last night. Was that by design, or was that a function of how the game unfolded?
Yeah, I think a little bit was a little bit of both, I think. I mean, I think you kind of see what the defense is giving you, and, you test them on, we tested them on the edges right away, and, went a little bit more air, but then also, like, the run game started hitting them in certain ways, and we kept the foot on the gas, and that set up the play action. And then, we went 2 minute, like at halftime, and then, they're exposed, and it's like, they have to really play honest, whether they're going to play cover one or shell, cover two, or whatever that might be. But, you could tell, like, you can really stress them out when you have both of them going. And if they have to guard perimeters, like, Turpin, CD, like, and those aren't even, like, we don't have, that's not even talking about TP and Rico, so, but it sets everything up. I think that's, like, the biggest part, how fundamentally balanced we are. And McCarthy does a great job of, like, setting us up for success,
One more thing before we take our first break, because it is Victory Monday. Victory Monday. And you mentioned penalties, which is that's a strange thing. No one knows who's what's what. But Babe Laufenberg and I both commented that it had been a very long time since either of us had heard anyone called for clipping. And I'm not sure what you did was what I grew up understanding clipping to be. When was the last time you got called for clipping?
Never.
Never in your life? In school?
Never. No.
Did you, having looked at it, do you know what they saw, what they thought they saw?
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to have a kind of little tutorial about, what's clean and what's not. But I think, talking to, we'll talk to our special teams coach, McCarthy. We'll have, we always, go through, the penalties of the week, and we'll get, an assessment on it. But we do a pretty good, honest job about, what we can do better, and, maybe even if it was a close call for the official, let's not make it close. Let's make it cleaner. But, yeah, no, never been clipping, and, I thought I got my head in front, but, it could be from bird's eye view, everyone's human. So, it's kind of tough. It was a tough call to take. But at the end of the day, you can't change it. And it is what it is, and you just got to battle. And I had to do that.
Can you repeat in public the thought that went through your head when you heard him say, clipping number 63?
Well, at first I thought it was a high-low, because I was like, I didn't even think of clipping.
But there was no high. There was nobody high.
And I was like, I asked Tyler right away, I was like, did you touch him? He goes, no. And I was like, what'd they call? And I didn't, until I got off on the sidelines, that's when they said clipping, and I was like, what? So I was like, I was more confused, but yeah, and then we talked about it today, and whether they called it right or wrong, does it really matter? At this point, in the game, you can't change it. Like I said before, and you just got to move on, and you got to move on quick. That's the biggest thing, and but yeah, unfortunate, but again, I've never heard clipping.
I mean, what's your understanding of what clipping is?
That we had I talked today about it. It's when you like cut him from the backside, like if you hit him in the backside. But
isn't there was always like a space, an area within X amount of the line of scrimmage?
I mean, yeah, you can't
and in the tackle box maybe where clipping was legal?
Right. I think you can't go outside the tight end box, but clipping is when you're cutting him from the backside, and I had my head in front of his knee, like I said, his thigh board. So, again, I don't know where he was seeing it, but at the same time, it is what it is.
Well, thank you for letting us all hear the term clipping again, and it doesn't matter now, but it was an interesting conversation point. We appreciate everyone who has come in to join us at Sidecar Social in the Star District tonight on the Cowboys Hour. Thank you wherever you're listening on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. Thank you where and whenever you're streaming on DallasCowboys.com. The little boxes are cameras, so wave. There you go. And Tyler Biadasz, the Cowboys center, is our guest tonight. We'll be right back.
To the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
Welcome back to the Cowboys Hour. Sidecar Social in the Star District in Frisco on Victory Monday. Brad Sham and Nicole Hutchinson, our special guest star. Tyler Biadasz, the Cowboys center, and Nicole, who brings us this Cowboys Hour.
Lucchese, the official bootmaker of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Shout out to Lucchese.
There we go. As you get into this stretch, what a difference from your rookie year, first of all, right? I mean, that was just sad chaos.
Yeah, it was tough.
Starting from the beginning. But now it's just double-digit wins 3 years in a row. Do you find yourself less tired as December cranks up when you are in a playoff race like this?
No, I mean, I think every year we've had that, that Thanksgiving, that right after that Thanksgiving game, we had that one, and then we have like a little, more of like a little mini bye week, right? So it's like that Thursday to that next following Sunday, So I think, we've always had that. So I think, that's kind of your second kind of bye that you really gather yourself and you get your body right, your mind right. But no, I mean, not really tired.
You're fresh as a daisy?
Yeah, I actually did feel really fresh that game. No, 100%. No, I mean, yeah, you're like in season healthy. We always joke around like, you're in season healthy. You got your nicks and bruises, all this stuff. But like at the same time, like, you want to just keep building or keep stacking those days where, you get more recovery. And McCarthy does a great job of like, in that 3-game stretch, 11 days or 3 games in 11 days, he's really conscious about making sure our bodies are fresh and that we're ready to go. And, so no, I mean, I do feel really good. I really do.
Was there anything that you did outside of, the recovery things that McCarthy had? Because I know Stephon said that he got like extra massages and things like that.
Yeah, you do your body work. We got massages, cold tubs. We got like a steam room at the facility, sauning, and we got Normatex, so like compression. So all that stuff, and that adds dividends, going down the week. And I always think it's like you're always making like a self deposit every single day throughout the week, starting from Monday today, and you just keep doing it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and you build it all up, and then on Sunday, you're fresh. As you were talking about the spa and all of the things, was it like that at Wisconsin? We had some stuff that was similar, and we had a sauna, cold tub, and stuff like that. We didn't maybe have like maybe all the resources that we have here, but I think it was pretty similar. We taken like once I got here, I've taken recovery to a new level for me, and to really like as much as you're in the building, it's a good thing, right? So, but yeah, I definitely utilize my time in there, and that's the name of the game is availability. You always want to keep your body fresh. And was Barry Alvarez the AD during any of your time there? Yeah, he was.
Most of the time, the whole time?
The whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah.
He's retired now, right?
He is.
So Barry Alvarez, for those who don't know, one of the great college football coaches of the last few decades, and then administrators and OPS, the grandfather of Jake Ferguson, the Cowboys tight end. Was Jake particularly geeked because Grandpa was in town this past week?
Oh yeah, he's come out a couple. He's come out.
Has he?
A couple times, yeah, and he's come out like last year a lot too. So we got to catch up multiple times, and it's always fun. It's coming from my college days and seeing him in the building, and now I'm seeing him in our building, and it's cool that he comes out and supports Jake, but also bringing that culture that he kind of represents too, and you get to talk to him about in the history of Wisconsin sometimes and all that stuff. So, but no, he's a great guy, great true legend.
What were some things that you took away from Barry?
I didn't really have him as a coach.
Yeah.
But it was more so just like who he is, and you kind of like you found the fundamentals of like a true, very humble guy, down to earth kind of guy, but. He's funny. He's funny. But no, I think that's kind of where Ferg gets it. Like Ferg,
I was going to say,
Ferg's a goofball.
Yeah.
Man.
Does Ferg have some of his personality?
Oh yeah. No, I think Ferg is he's dynamic.
Personalities is an interesting subject to me. You clearly blossomed going into your second and third years. The first year I think was a little overwhelming. It can be for a lot of first year players. Plus was the COVID year, right? Jake has never seem to be particularly shy,
No.
but you could just see him growing, right, as a person and a player. Talk to us about him a little bit, and then maybe some of the other personalities that are kind of coming out and growing up right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, I think a lot of the personalities came with obviously like opportunity, and but Ferg, he's always been he's outspoken and confident, and he's one of those guys that like he's gonna go out for his moment. He's always in the present moment. He's gonna give it his best shot. And whether it's his rookie year or whatever, and because I had him because he was a year behind me in college, so I saw him his redshirt year, and like the next year he played, and I got to play with him for a year, and we were actually roommates in college.
Really?
So so we were roommates in college for 2 years, and it was funny just to see like his growth, but like his tenacity at Wisconsin, and we get to do that in the NFL on the same team, so like that's obviously like it's great for our relationship, and but just to see him grow, but also like Hendershot, Sean McEwen, Scooney, like all those guys, just how they're ascending, and those are big moments. But even TP taking over, and Rico, and they're guys that are just like continually growing, and it's really good to see that. But also their personalities, like Dak always says in huddle, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Be the best version of yourself, and everything else will take care of itself. Just be your best at your best, and everything will take care of itself. And I truly think we do show our personalities, and Ferg's he's a funny dude, and I think he gets it from Barry. Like everything.
From Barry?
Yeah, and his brother Joe.
So one of the things I noticed from the Seattle game, when you look back at the clips, and he makes the first down, and Jamal Adams is in his face, and I think it was number 6 who was in between him, and then Adams pushed his and guess who that was in a white shirt coming in and pulling them apart, making sure that Ferg got his say, and yet the whole thing didn't get out of hand.
Yeah.
But you go looking for that stuff, I think. Am I wrong?
No, I think no. You always, I think just covering the ball, you're kind of putting yourself in the position, for anything, whether fumble or maybe take a hit off a guy, or like finishing, pushing the pile or whatever. But when you see a guy get hit like that, and you see him talking right after the play, like you're gonna let Ferg say his thing, and but once once there's a scuffle, like that's my moment, like that's my moment where I'm stepping in. And
well, I mean, you had to travel a little distance to get there. You weren't standing right next to it.
Yeah, no, it was like a 10-yard gain or something like that. But no, I knew it was coming once he put the first down. Like once he put it up, I'm like, all right, here we go.
This is on.
But that's like, I think that's the, we always talk about, pure ass attitude, and I think that's the way we operate, and like you see guys even like yesterday, like when Ferg caught one over the middle, like you got, CD and Brandon and all those guys blocking downfield, and then we're coming in too, because like we know how important those extra yards do add up, and it could be, for situational football too. So, if we get tackled at the 40 versus the 30, like there's different play calls for each of those, and like we have a different, we always want to, get the most yards possible, right? So, we're always trying to cover the ball and everything, but no, we're always in for a scuffle, man. Like that's the beauty about football is that, that attitude that it brings out, and that's when your true personality does come out too, I think. And but that's for the love of the game as well, and I enjoy that.
When you see Ferg make plays like hurdling over guys, and he's done it before, but does it surprise you when he makes big plays like that?
No. No, but like I can't really remember like too much in college. Yeah. But like I saw the one picture online today, and I'm like, man, he got up. I was like,
couldn't
wow.
you see that coming?
Well, you do it 2 games in a row. You think like.
No, there was the way he was running, and the way that guy was coming over. And as I'm describing him running, I'm thinking to myself, he's going over that guy. There's no doubt. This is like a show horse getting ready to jump a hurdle. He is going over that guy.
Yeah.
That didn't surprise you.
The ones that surprised me are like the quick 1-2 steps and he's up, and I'm like, man, you can gather yourself.
What was your reaction?
Cover the ball, like, because you don't know how he's gonna land, so you're like, shoot, I gotta get over there, But no, man, he's been balling, man, and. But no, man, he's been making people miss and making people look funny on Instagram and on social media, stuff. But man, he has some hops for sure.
The great thing about that is that when he did it the first time last year, and everybody got excited, and I remember asking him what were you thinking when you, and he said, cover the ball, and then he said, that was dumb, don't ever do that again. Well, I guess that went out the window. With Victory Monday, that's where it went out the window with. And Nicole, who else brings us the Cowboys Hour?
Albertsons. When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day. My bad. When you wear your Cowboys jersey, Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys.
Tyler Biadasz, the Cowboys center, is our guest tonight. We'll be right back.
To the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
Welcome back to Sidecar Social in the Star District on Victory Monday on the Cowboys Hour. Brad Sham with Nicole Hutchinson and our special guest, Cowboys All-Star Center Tyler Biadasz. You looked in the Pro Bowl games last year, you looked like you were having fun.
It was a lot of fun. No, it was great.
Was it better than, you'll never know because it'll never go back, would you rather play a game or would you rather do what you guys did?
Yeah, I mean, I never experienced, obviously a game. I've talked to Zach a couple times and Tyron about, like, what was it like in the past and how much has changed. And, like, we were playing flag football and I snapped the ball and took a knee. So, different. But, no, being able to talk, to the guys around the league and get to know those guys and, talk about ball, just, hang out and
that's the important part of it, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I'm 100%, just camaraderie, like, but we had a lot of guys go down, down to Vegas. You had Micah, Trayvon, me, Zach.
Yeah, what a shock that a bunch of guys went to Las Vegas.
No, but I mean,
on the team, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have more,
Yeah.
You're going to have some more. Do you think about that at all? Is that that Pro Bowl is such a funny thing. For as long as I can remember, nobody wants to play in the game, but everyone wants to make the Pro Bowl because it's a recognition that you're among the best at your position. Was it something you thought about before last year? Were you surprised, and how important is it to you now?
Yeah, I mean, you always have, individual goals, and you always have team goals, and I'm a big believer in like self-affirmation and writing down and envisioning them, and obviously you want to be notarized as the best of what you do, and I think if that's the highest achievement, that's what I'm going for, and then that's why I always you strive for that, to be the best that you possibly could be, and hopefully in the other people's eyes that's the best, right? Or you're learning from other people how to do things differently and all that stuff on film. So I mean, with technique and all that stuff, but yeah, definitely definitely was excited when I got the phone call and everything like that. But yeah, no, I mean, it's one of those things that, you want to be recognized for that, but I think the ultimate goal is, to win a Super Bowl. And that's, obviously like in front of, all of it is like, we want to win we want to win a Super Bowl.
Thank you very much. Yep.
But
hey, Luka Doncic can do it, then
right.
Biadasz can do it, right? That self-actualization, visualization, writing down goals, very interesting to me. How, if at all, has what you have visualized and written down changed by lining up next to Zach Martin for 4 years?
Yeah, I think it's big. I think for me, it's like in pregame, I'm listening to a meditation. I'm getting my mind clear for what I'm about to do. But in the meditation, I'll have like different things of like what I'm focusing on this week and like the matchups I have and like how we're gonna fit this or that. But honestly, it's just like for that stuff, like with who I'm working with, it's more so, that's in practice. That's building throughout the week. That's building that camaraderie, and then it kind of goes to, McCarthy has a, big thing for us is, giving that 24 hours of like for you, it's all you, you can clear your mind, get your body right, whatever you need, and then, we show up on game day like, we're ready to go. But yeah, I mean, the self and visualization and, self-affirmation, I think that's huge, because, you're setting yourself in the program of who you are on the field, and that's a whole nother different version of yourself. So, but it's the true version of, who you are on that field. So I think just to get your mindset, to go out there and to be the best of your ability of that version, I think it does. You should take time. You should take time to visualize that. And Schottenheimer, Coach Schottenheimer, the last game, with Seattle, he kept coming over by us. He was like, expect to win. And then, like that's a huge thing too about just like in your, psychologically in your mind, like, we might be down or whatever, but like, expect to win, every single week, expect to win, every single matchup, but know their tendencies, and obviously, like, you want to execute at the highest level, and but you're always learning, you're always growing, and it's never perfect, but like you chase it. So, but yeah.
The standard you hold for yourself is really high, and I saw in training camp where you said that you want to be the best leader that you can be for yourself and for this offensive line. How do you feel like you have pretty much done this at this point of the season?
Yeah, no, I think I've done a pretty good job, but again, like you never want to get complacent. You always want to have a growth mindset, and a person I lean on a lot is Zach and Dak, and talking to them about how did they do things, and like what do you feel about this or this, or like how do you want me to go about that, this or that. So I think, but leaning on them of just, learning, when you stepping into that role, you want to do things the right way, and that's a big part of this, this winning culture that we have here. And I think, and it's more so about creating more leaders on the team, about leadership in general. But you want everyone to have that same mindset, But yeah, no, I think it's we've done a really good job, but like every single week we come out of a game, it's always a growth mindset, whether or not a leader saying it or not. It's more so like all of us, like we are leaders of men. Like Mike Solari, offensive line coach, says every day, we are leaders of men. So, and we do take that personal, of like our craft and our ability and our film study and all that stuff and every detail. So. But yeah, no, you're always learning about different things, and you're always trying to be the best at it. So,
what were some of those conversations with Dak and Zach?
They were great. I mean, just to go about things about, whether it's in game or off on the sideline, or how to go about this or that, or but they're great. I mean, but I think it's more some stuff you have to experience it for the first time, and some stuff you can learn from it through practice, or like if we have to pick up the tempo here or there, or how to talk to someone after this play or whatever. But no, those are big things, and even like I'm still learning. I still learn from Zach and Dak, and but anytime I have a question, I'm like a sponge. Like I'm always trying to get information. I'm trying to always better myself to have my best version out there, so like I don't live with regret. That's like the biggest thing is like I always want to come in and be my best. So
something that Tyler Smith said earlier in the season, he had mentioned that Mike Solari allows you guys to be player-led. How much has that kind of paid off?
A lot. I think, he's given the voice, I think, to all of us, really. Yeah. And, but knowing about, like, how good we can be or how great we can be. But, no, I mean, that consistent energy that he brings, I think, amplified, like, in the room in general upon like who he is as a person and having that growth mindset, but like knowing that each and every week we will better ourselves and like we will be the best versions of ourselves, and knowing like what our potential really is. But yeah, no, he does bring the energy, and he's on the sideline, and Coach Chin Young, he's on the sidelines, and it's a ball of energy, man. Like and they do it the right way, and they're always trying to make it crystal clear for us, whether we're talking about film or getting what we want for this or that, on our iPads and stuff, and and they're always helping us out, and so man, like can't say enough about them, for real.
Is Mike different than Joe Philbin in that respect?
Yeah, they have different
different personalities.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they have different personalities, and but every coach does.
Right.
And but yeah, I mean. I can talk the same way about what Joe did the last 2 years and stuff like that. So it's like, but I think, but being player led was different. I think in regards of like really like having the room and like doing some different things, but like in the same stuff, it's kind of different with like techniques and stuff like that. But like you're gonna get that when you have new coaches and stuff like that. But I think we have like that in the room. We'll talk more about what's like kind of the theme of the week, or like we'll sit down and like Coach like Solari will have like a cup of coffee, like what does that mean to you? We just talked about this or this, and we'll go around the room and like we'll talk about what that message meant that we had this week, or so yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, it keeps you accountable, because it's like everyone's speaking up in the room too. So I mean every old lineman in the room, like we're speaking up, and we're talking about what this message means to them and all that, but it's a lot. It's more voices in the room that are speaking, so that camaraderie builds, that chemistry builds, and you get to know one another better. So it's huge.
Does Tyron talk a lot in those meetings?
We get him to talk. We get him to smirk a little bit here and there. It's once in a blue. No, I'm just kidding. But no, he does talk. And he does give his thoughts and opinions and stuff like that. And but no, again, a great leader of men. Prime example. How many years he's done it, and he's talking about like the matchups and what he sees to help. Vice versa. What when the three, like for example, like yesterday, like him and Terrence were communicating what they had with each other and all that stuff. But yeah, no, he does a great job.
When you look at a guy like Tyler Smith, who's made a drastic second-year jump, moving from left tackle to inside, what has impressed you the most about his growth in just about a year?
Yeah, I think his versatility, for one, to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Especially playing at a high level, but also, his acknowledgement of the playbook and his growth and how he ascended into this year and really took ownership of, just becoming more of a off of film study, picking up tips and tendencies and knowing how to block differently because tackle to guard, that's a big difference. You're versing maybe 300 plus pound people versus 250 maybe, whatever. But I think the biggest thing is the ability he has and the gift of athleticism, and he uses it to the maximum. And he's in strain. He can recover. His recoverability is out of this world. But he plays long. He plays physically. He plays demeanor with a great finish. Can't say enough great things about him, honestly.
Our guest is Tyler Biadasz, the Cowboys All-Star Center. We are at Sidecar Social in the Star District in Frisco. Do we have who else is bringing us this show, Nicole?
Papa John's. It's big, it's good, and it's only for Cowboys fans. The Cowboys special from the Cowboys and Papa John's. A large one-topping pizza for only $9.99. Order today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, the official pizza of the Dallas Cowboys.
Audience questions for Tyler Biadasz on Victory Monday when we come back.
Go Cowboys!
To the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
Victory Monday Victory Monday on the Cowboys Hour and Sidecar Social. Brad Sham with Nicole Hutchison and Tyler Biadasz. And yeah, we'll be back here next week, too, as a matter of fact. Does the Christmas season distract?
Me personally?
Sure.
Nah, I mean, not really. No, honestly, you just see a lot more lights in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I mean, it's always like, you see a lot of like, Christmas stuff around, like the facility, and you're doing more. You got to get to do more gift giving, obviously, and we do.
Well, what a great philosophy! You get to do more gift giving.
Yeah.
What a great philosophy.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's great. It's great. No, we do this one. It's I forgot what it's called. It's like Angels.
The Angel Tree.
The Angel Tree.
Yeah.
So that's great. I mean, Emily does a great job of giving us opportunities every Tuesday to go volunteer, and we went to do like children's hospital visits. I got to wear like a Santa hat and like put a smile on a kid's face, and that means the world to me. And especially what they're going through, and but it just gives you a perspective, right? And to really like bump up your gratitude of the ability that you have and the opportunity you have to go play and kind of like work, but like really play a game that you love to do. And but to also inspire kids around the world and to give them hope about what they're going through and everything like that. So I mean, great opportunities obviously come with it, but I think at the same rate, it's not really a distraction. It's more of an exciting time. It really is, and that's when a lot of families in town too, and it's great.
How has the quarterback shown his gratitude to the offensive lineman in your first 3 years?
That was great. No, it was great. No, we got some gift cards. It's a four-season.
Can you tell us to where?
Is there a big?
Yeah, we had some gift cards. A four-season hotel.
Oh.
We had some Jordan shoes. We had some high-end liquor. It was great.
What Jordan shoes did you get?
I think it was the best ones. I'm not a big collector in shoes, but they were the ones that no one else had. So
they were exclusive.
Yeah, so they're great. But yeah, no, we get to wear them on game day and everything, and but yeah, no, Dak treats us very well, and we'll be able to go over, have O-line dinners at his house, and really get together and build camaraderie, and he's great, man. He really is.
Let's take some questions from the audience.
Good evening, Tyler. My name is Rambo. Great win yesterday, by the way.
Thank you.
So you're surrounded by great coaches and great players that I know offer a great support system to make you into a great player. Does Travis Frederick reach out to you and give you his support?
Yeah, I mean, we connected in the pre-draft, or once I got drafted, and that's when I started being involved in his foundation and everything. And I've talked to him a couple times on some fits and like what he used to do and like all that stuff. And he kind of told me like kind of his process of like his recovery and stuff like that, and also of like what he did like with Zach and the guards. About getting the fit and like how he would be confident going into games and stuff like that, or like reach blocks and stuff like that. So, but yeah, anytime I've ever reached out, he's always had an answer for me, and he's a really great dude, man. Very, very grateful for who he is as a person as too, and I think it's kind of cool. I didn't get to play with him on the field, but I got to, be a part of, his other team that he was on, with the Blocking Hunger Foundation, and And that's kind of set everything up with perspective for me, too. So it was great. He's a great guy, man.
Yeah, he's an unusual guy. Thanks, Rambo.
How you doing, sir? My name is Tony. Many years ago, I was on a show similar to this, and when Nate Newton was playing, and somebody asked him who was one of the toughest linemen on the team, and he had mentioned how Larry Allen and Eric Williams at the time were two of the nastiest, grimy linemen that you ever met.
Yeah.
Do we have that, and who are they?
We are all them. 100%, all five. Come on, man.
What a great answer.
All right. My name's Larry.
How you doing, Larry?
Doing good. As far as when you first came on with the team and you were getting to know the players, as far as the center that you replaced, con as he can be, Joe Looney, what was the funniest thing that made you laugh and you still keep in touch with him?
With Joe?
Yes.
Oh, Joe Looney.
Oh. Okay. No.
Did you play with Joe?
Yeah. So my first year, so he started the year, and I came in for him when he got hurt, and I started some games. But no, I was like a sponge with Joe because we didn't have OTAs that year. So that was the COVID year. So we came in and we were doing everything from Zoom, and it's not really like hands-on, like going through walkthroughs and all that stuff. It's all on a piece of paper, right? So, but yeah, no, I learned a lot from Joe throughout that whole year. But man, he's a funny dude. No, he's a great guy. No, he really is. But no, you just learn from his experience, and he was really open to it, and he was a very big team player in regards of a rookie coming in and wanting to learn. But no, he really ran it that year, and when I stepped in when he was hurt. But no, it was a great year, and he's a great guy. And when he comes around, the Star, I think he was coaching high school football.
Yeah.
Recently, so anytime we get to see him, it's always a blast. We always want to say hi and catch up and see how he's doing and everything. And but yeah, I can't say enough great things about him.
We've got 30 seconds. What went through your mind the first time you heard, "Here we go"?
Get set. No, get set. Get set.
Okay. It's taken off, and it'll
got a song.
And it's got a song, and it might have more before you're all done. Tyler Biadasz, everybody, the Cowboys Pro Bowl center, and Sunday afternoon in Buffalo, and next Monday back here on Cowboys Hour.
My buds and I are at a Buffalo Wild.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!